So we're going to be continuing our project here, and I've taken a bit of time to organize some of the tasks that we still need to do in order for you guys to have everything that you need to continue developing your website and to publish it. So I think the most important things for now is to start a new project, go through the MD files, talk a little about images, fonts, how to get them, where to get them, some icons, and to actually get the website up and running. And then we're going to talk about publishing, and then in the end we're going to talk about post-publishing analytic tools such as Google Analytics, Clarity, the GDPR compliance, and we're going to be talking also about, so I think we're missing here, I think it's called Bing Webmaster Tools. So these are the two services that we need for our website to be indexed by Google and Bing. All right, so let's get it going. I'm just going to start fresh. I'm going to create a new repository here. It was Fitras website. And then we make it private, add a readme, no git ignore for now, and then there's no license. Yes. Oh. Good. I'm going to get my SSH code. I'm going to go to my terminal. And then I also need, before doing this, I also need to write git clone and then paste it. And rock and roll. Now we should have a empty repository. So now if you open, I have a repository here. Perfect. I'm going to start a terminal, and I'm going to say npx Now that we got the boilerplate code ready, we can do, I can just delete this, select all of these, and let's see if I can manage to move it. Haha, yes, I did it. Sure. Perfect, and now it seems like our previous folder is empty, and then let's just test it quickly. Okay, let's open the link. Nice, seems to be working. Okie dokie. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to delete this because we're not gonna need it, but what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna copy these 4 files into the project. Another thing that we can do here is to just make a folder called context, and then I'm gonna rename this from the examples. I should have probably done that before, sorry about that. So I'm going to keep the Claude in here, but I'm going to put the design system files, so the design system file, the layout file, and the project structure file into the context folder. And what we're going to do is, we know that whenever the large language model starts looking for context, it's going to go into the Claude, and then we're going to redirect the model into the context folder. And the main reason why I'm doing this is just because I would like the project structure to just be a bit more organized and sort of easier to read. And I know that all of my context that are related to the design, they're just there. Cool. So let's quickly get started. Yes, I'm going to say it's Fitras. I know we just installed. If we go back, it says need to install the following packages. So next app 16.2.2. So let's just update this to 16. So these two are essentially the backbone of the code. This is going to be a package that is going to allow us to translate our website automatically to Danish and English or any other language that you might like. Tailwind, this is for styling, so this is for the design. And Shed CN is a popular source of website components. So think about this is just a library where you can download top nav bar components and things like that. Cool. This is the way that I generally like to have my my project stored in folders and files. You can go through it. Actually, instead of text here, I like to have something which is called, what did I say last time? I had a better word for this. And sort of this folder is going to be the folder that contains all of the text for your website in all of the languages. So here it could also just be, I don't know, Japanese if we want to do that or something. But yeah, anyways, I think I had a better name for this, but we can just leave it. Yes, so I can see here I named the design system, not context. So actually design system sounds better. Design system. Cool. So it knows that there's going to be a design system and then the markdown files for this. All right, so you can see we're already redirecting the large language model from the main Claude file onto the other files where they can get certain descriptions. Good. Now roots are file based, yes. And here we're gonna have to write all of the pages and write out what the URL should look like. Now, URL is the way that you write your URLs are actually quite important for your SEO as well. So you should be wary and you should think about how should you name your URLs. They should be, of course, relevant, but I think if you're thinking about SEO, then just do a bit of research around what you would like to name them. So I'm gonna do a shorter version of this website just to get through and make sure that we touch all the important points that I want to touch upon on this in this workshop series. So I'm going to have a homepage. I totally agree, but we're only going to have a homepage, and we're gonna have a cookie policy page. Cookie policy. And this doesn't really matter, so I can have the same. I can have the same name, and there's going to be terms of service. I can do terms. It can also just be here. There we go. And so we need a cookie policy, a terms of service, and I'm missing something, a privacy policy. And I'm curious now, how should we call privacy? Yeah, let's just call it like that. Though, privacy policy. Yes, this sounds much better. Cool. And then Privatlivspolitik, and then, yeah, this is fine. Okay, let's just look at terms and conditions as well. Yeah, we could call them Wilco. Yeah, I think. Where are we at? So we can call them like this. Nice. All right. As we talked about, yeah, and then here you can set which language should be the default language in which the website should be shown. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it in Danish for now. This is just some configuration for the packages, and then these are just general preferences. So TypeScript is a superset of JavaScript. How should I put this? Actually, don't worry too much about this. These are just some technical configurations that I honestly don't really need to think about too much. And I think that you already said yes to TypeScript when we installed the when the boilerplate code got generated. I'm fairly certain that it's going to ask you at some point in time, like, hey, do you want TypeScript, or go with the recommended settings, and then the recommended settings contain TypeScript as well. So don't worry too much about it. Yeah, again, when it comes to the colors, it should defer to the design system, file, but it gives a spacing scale based on what I usually use, and that's it. And what I generally do, and this should help you keep the code pretty clean, never use files, never create new files unless absolutely necessary, always prefer editing existing files over creating new ones. So this is kind of the same thing. All right, so moving on to the design system. As we discussed last time, what I like to do is name it, put already the brand adjectives that I have, and the color system that we have found. What I did since last time, let me see where I can find it, is that I took it a bit further and started looking at accents as well, but my color system is going to be a bit more complex than that, than the minimum viable brand that we discussed. And the reason why I've done this, I've kind of went a bit further. I tried to get multiple secondary colors, and this is just a kind push for you guys to take it a bit step further and sort of go down a creativity path and do whatever you would like. So what I decided to do was that I know that my minimum viable product of my app is going to have 4 different features. So I decided that I'm going to have an overall main design with primary and secondary colors and all of the colors needed for a minimum viable brand. But whenever we start talking about some of the features, then some of the secondary colors are going to become primary for that specific type of content. So when I'm going to talk about the workout tracker, or I'm going to have a card, or I'm going to have a section, then automatically I'm going to shift these colors around. And then I'm going to have this color as a main color. When I'm talking about the point system, it's going to be the green, and so on and so forth. And I have made different permutations of how the colors should be when these secondary colors became the primary. And I have them around here somewhere. I don't want to bore you with them. I just wanted to show you very, very quickly. And afterwards, I'm going to pause this video and I'm going to insert all of these sub theme colors into my markdown project.